Hey, y'all, you're listening to the Chicken Fried Women podcast with me, your host, Melissa Radke, the original recipe. Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to Chicken Fried Women, friendship, kinship, and the stories that made us this way. If you are a certain way, don't tell me what that is. Ain't none of my business. But chances are, it's the stories. It's what happened to you. It's the women in your life that probably did it to you, honey. Okay? Another little subtitle for this podcast is Where the South Meets the Mouth. I came up with that. Y'all, today we are talking to the queen. I call her the queen. In fact, I was back in the back getting ready. And I was like, I got to go. The queen is here. And you don't keep the queen waiting. She is the queen because she is the star of every story in my life. Everything that messed me up and made me this way. Everything that made me wonderful and dangerous, mysterious and sexy. It's because of the woman sitting beside me. So welcome to Chicken Fried Women, my mother.
Don't blame me for any of that.
I told her before we got started today, this is just talking. This is going to feel like me and you when we go on those trips to Houston and we're back in the car, we're driving home and we just start telling old stories and we both get so tickled that we almost wet on ourselves. Mm-hmm. But I asked you to come loaded for bear today with a story that by the way, did you notice our nail polish color? What is going on?
You want to look like your mama. It's just real evident.
What did you go and ask for? Because our nail polish is almost identical. We don't even go to the same place.
Oh, pale pink chrome.
Mother, you are a senior citizen. How do you know about chrome?
What? How do I know about chrome? You had braces for no.
I did not. That's your grandchildren. Hey. How did you know about chrome? That's kind of an edgy kind of thing.
I do get out once a week, you know.
Mama, I literally had bubble bath. That's what mine is called, which is a pale pink with chrome.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And also I have started sleeping. This is what is so weird to me. I have now been married to David longer than I lived with you. I've lived with David Radke longer than I lived with you. I only lived with you 18, 19 years. I've been with this man 30.
Amazing.
And I sleep in a position that you have always slept in, which I think is so weird. How does that happen?
I don't know, but I know about 10 years ago is when I started sleeping like my mother, and I never slept like that.
Really?
I don't know why.
Okay, I sleep now with my hand up under my chin like this. And you do that.
I don't know why.
That is so bizarre. Okay, enough of that. What is the story that you wanted to bring up today? I hope it leaves me in a glowing light. I hope it paints me in a glowing light. What is it? And by the way, if y'all hear any noise, that's Shep. And Shep's going to be in every podcast because he's wonderful and he's the world's most beautiful dog. And I'm not going to dare do a podcast without him. So if y'all hear whining, it's Shep. If you hear him traipsing through looking for a ball, it's Shep. Just, if you love me, you love him. Okay. What were you going to talk about?
Well, there's so many, it's really hard to narrow down. But yeah, our women in our family have shaped each other, you know, all the way back. Mm-hmm. I have a picture, and I don't know why I didn't bring it, but of my cousin Linda holding me when I was just a toddler. That's how far back, you know, it goes. And then to think that I would grow up and she would still be my best friend, or kind of my best friend, you know, cousin. That's just amazing. But we've been through so much, and we have, you know, I miss her. I miss her still.
I did too. You said you were thinking about something last night and it got you tickled. What was it?
I was thinking about that Halloween thing that we had. And you, of course, you always made me go to school to do something for whatever they were having.
That's called being a room mother. I didn't make you. You'll hear her, she's like, you always made me get involved in your childhood.
Well, you did. And if I didn't go and do something, you wouldn't go and do something. But you asked me and Melba, my sister, if we would go and help you with this festival thing. And I said, well, what are we supposed to do? And you said, you're going to be a fortune teller. And you already had it figured out what I was going to do.
Okay, first of all, it was a Halloween carnival. And I don't think I came up with fortune teller. You and Aunt Melba said, you know what we should do is be a fortune teller.
Well, I remember one of you two saying, you can wear your muumuu. That way you don't even have to dress up.
Okay. Well, first of all, when I was growing up, all you wore were muumuus. And we're talking about the day when muumuus were like Mrs. Roper, where they're connected on the side, but then the rest is just like flowy. And my mom always had gaudy jewelry. And so we were like, you're halfway there. You're halfway there.
I didn't wear muumuus out though. I just wore them around the house.
So you already had the look. So I think we just came up with, all we'd have to really do is like wrap a towel on your head. Is that like, can we say that nowadays? Wrap a towel on your head and be like a turban, like a turban for a fortune teller. And we would have you as the fortune teller. And then here was our grand scheme. Tell them the scheme.
Well, I don't really remember, except that I'm not sure what Melba did.
No, yeah. Tell them what I did. I don't know what
Melissa was the lookout.
I was.
And she would go out and see who was in line next to come in and have their fortune read. And she would come in and whisper to us or whisper to Melba.
I would whisper it to Melba.
And then Melba would tell me. And then we'd have that next person come in. And, you know, it was amazing the stuff we could come up with.
Oh, yeah. So Melba, I guess, was the fortune teller's assistant. Pretty much. Melba just wanted to be there.
Yeah.
And be a part. And so I would go and I would look out and I would be like, tell my mom that Christy Watson is in line and she just broke up with her boyfriend, Roger, and she's brokenhearted. And then Melba would tell you, and then you would be like, let me guess. This is what mom would do. Let me guess. Your name is Christy. I'm seeing a Christy in my bowl. And then they would like freak out, wouldn't they?
Yeah. They would keep looking at me like, you're kidding me. I just thought this was a fat woman in a muumuu. And here she has talent.
And she was. And here she has talent. And so then she would say things like, baby, and she would say that, baby, I just know you're dealing with a broken heart. You're just reeling from a breakup. And they would be like, I'm seeing an R. It's somebody with an R. Mom, that was a thing we had going.
Yeah, we thought we were really, yeah, we did. And the only problem is, there was always that next girl that we didn't know, and you couldn't even tell her name or nothing. And I'd just be like, okay.
Yeah, and the thing is, for those of you who are like, dang, because like maybe your kid goes to like a high school with like 700 kids in it. Yeah, mine had about 200 kids total in the whole high school. So it was easy to know everybody. Yeah, there was always going to be one person that I'm like, I'm not familiar with them. They're not in my grade, but that didn't happen very often. But you and Melba in those muumuus with just a bathroom towel wrapped on y'all's head.
But we had big old gaudy earrings.
Yeah.
And lots of rings on.
Hey, did you know that the Chicken Fried Women podcast is being brought to you by my new book, Chicken Fried Women, coming out April 22nd. I have a question for you. Have you pre-ordered it yet? Go to Amazon.com or wherever you buy books and order one for you and your bestie and your mom and your college roommate. You get what I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. There is another memory that I have of the time that I was in the 4th grade. By the way, do you remember that I had a very bad 4th grade year? That was the only year you ever went up and reamed out one of my teachers.
Well, I didn't ream her out. I didn't know what was going on.
Mama, she was mean as sin.
Yeah.
You went up, you talked to her. Anyway, that was a hard year for me. Speaking of things that you would do at the school. But you fell in love with a little boy in my class named Brodrus. Can we say that? His name was Brodrus. I doubt he's listening to this. Little black boy in my class, and you fell in love with him. You come to the parties and you thought he was so cute.
I had forgotten about him.
And do you remember that you bought him Michael Jackson stickers? That was the year that Thriller came out.
I didn't remember that.
And you made me take them to him at school, and I was mortified.
Well, y'all,
we were big friends.
yeah.
But you still don't buy stickers for somebody unless you love them. And you brought those Michael Jackson stickers, puffy stickers. And you said, I want you to take these to Brodrus and give them to him. And I'm like, Mom, nowadays, that would be so creepy.
Would it really?
Yes.
Well, I probably did a lot of creepy things, not realizing it was creepy.
Did your mother go to your parties?
Oh, she's never been to one. No, I don't remember her ever going to one. She worked so much, and it was just different. I remember Linda going to some of my parties and stuff, my cousin.
Your older cousin would go?
She would go and, take me or whatever, because mother worked so much.
Huh. Did she ever do anything at school that embarrassed you?
One time we drove by my boyfriend's house unintentionally, and I said, "Oh, Mama, honk at Bobby out there," and her hair was in all rollers, all rollers, and she rolled her window down and said, "Honk, honk." I just hit the deck.
I don't believe you.
I hit the deck, and I said, "What in the world did you do that for?" And she said, "My horn don't blow." I thought you knew that.
Mother, I do not believe you.
Well, she did it. Honk, honk. And the next day at school, every time he'd see me, he'd go honk, honk. It's terrible.
That is my granny to a T.
She was just out there.
Okay. Did she ever go bathing suit shopping with you? Because I know we did, and that's a little story you could share.
No, but when I was in the 9th grade, I wanted to go swimming over at a friend's house. At school, they had invited me to come swimming. And I called Mother and I asked her if she could come home, maybe get off a little bit early and us run to town and get a bathing suit because the party was tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And she said, "What for?" And I said, I need a bathing suit. I don't even own a bathing suit. And she said, "I am in Diboll, Texas. There is no way in the world I can get home to Hudson and then get back to left." She said, No. I'm just going to pick you up something in Diboll.
Oh, no.
And I said,
"Oh, no.
There's nothing in Diboll you can pick me up."
No,
nothing.
there's still nowhere to shop in Diboll, much less in 1960.
I don't know where she found it, but she came home with a one-piece bathing suit that all it lacked was the clerical collar up here for a nun. It showed nothing. It revealed nothing. I had nothing, but that's not the point. It was the bikini days,
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, she came home with that and made me wear it. I said, "Oh, not going to happen, Mom." She said, "Oh, yeah, you begged and you had to go to this party. You're going. If I have to sit in the car and watch y'all, you're going."
Here's the thing that's so unfair about this. You say, "I didn't have nothing to show," but you were built like a brick house. You were voted most beautiful at your high school, like every year.
Oh, my Lord. No.
Well, she was. I, on the other hand, was built more like my daddy's people. According to my mother, that's what she always says. "Look at Melissa now. She's built just like her daddy's people." Mother,
you got to be where you were kind of fat like your mama. And I don't blame that on Jean's family.
Okay. Oh, Lord. By the way, if anybody's watching this and they're like, "I can't believe she just said," no, this is how we talk. It's totally fine. But one year, here her mother gets her a swimsuit that doesn't show anything, and my mother's absolutely beautiful and could have shown off her whole body and looked amazing. Me, on the other hand, shouldn't have shown off anything, when I was in the 9th grade because I was built like a substitute teacher.
But she wanted to.
But I wanted to so bad. And there was one year that I had to go to camp, kids camp, church camp. And I already had this Dorothy Hamill haircut.
Oh, it was cute.
Mother, I was built like Warren Moon, who was a linebacker.
No,
okay?
He was not. He was a quarterback.
Whatever. I was built like a quarterback. I had a Dorothy Hamill haircut. The entire time I was at church camp, I was afraid that the speaker was going to ask for a show of hands, who wants to get saved? And when I raised my hand, he was going to say, you, sir, come up to the front.
That's terrible.
That was the whole vibe of what I was feeling. And then you take me bathing suit shopping.
Oh, Lord.
At Dillard's.
We went to Deerbrook Mall.
Yeah.
Because we knew that we couldn't find anything here. And so we went to Deerbrook Mall. And it's like we tried on one, but she'd try on a bathing suit. And I always said, don't even try it on if you're not going to show me, because I want to see you in it. I didn't want her hanging out everywhere. And she said, okay, well, there was for one reason or another, she'd say, this one ain't no good. I'd say, well, let me see anyway. And she'd say, well, I'm hanging out here, or I'm hanging out there, or whatever.
Or it looks like an old woman.
Right. And this went on all day, and my dogs were barking. And finally she said, oh, I love this one. And I said, you do? And she said, yeah. I said, well, good. Open the door and let me see it. Well, she opened the door, and I said, step out a little bit. I can't see. And she stepped to the frame of the door, and I said, well, turn around. And she turned around, and it looked like two tigers in a toe sack fighting it out. And she couldn't see the back, And I said, baby, you got too much going on back here. No, that ain't going to work. And she said, for real? Because I love it. And I said, just feel back there. And she did. And then she started shaking, laughing.
I started laughing.
And she held the frame of that. And those things ain't nothing. Uh-huh. They're just little old,
plywood.
Yeah. And then I got tickled, and I tried to grab the frame, and me and her were just going back like this. And
we were literally about to tear down a dressing room.
Right. And there was women in it.
Yeah. We got that tickled. I distinctly remember falling against the wall because I had never considered turning around and looking at the back of a swimsuit.
She never considered that.
But I was young.
And fluffy.
And so fluffy. So very fluffy, y'all. And I know y'all are listening to this and like today, like it's all about body positivity and you shouldn't say you're fluffy. I can tell you in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, people would ask me if they could get a hall pass to go to the bathroom because they would think I was a principal, or like I was a grown woman size with a 7th grade mind. I just was already fully developed and fluffy. And, if you don't believe me, just ask my mother, because she told me all the time.
Well, somebody had to tell her. And obvious I'd see these little notes she brought home, and it'd be, this one had written her a note in class and said, oh, you look so beautiful today, and that scarf and whatever she had on. And I just think, they're not going to tell her. I've got to tell her. And I didn't go, you were fat. I just said, you were fluffy.
This is what Chicken Fried Women is all about. This is what it's all about right here. It's the stories that shape us, that make us. This is why I wanted you on today. This kind of talk right here is why I am the way I am, for better or for worse. It's because my mother always lived with the motto, no one's going to tell you the truth, so I have to, even if it hurts. Even if it hurts. That's why we love our Chicken Fried Women. That's why they are our Chicken Fried Women. Thanks so much for being here today, where we get to talk about our friendships and our kinships and the stories that made us this way. Till next time.